Hey now, welcome back, Pokemon trainers. This is your friendly neighborhood Bullados, and we are at the Pokemon VGC Premier Challenge Omega Series at 2D Con in Bloomington, Minnesota. We're in the finals of our Premier Challenge. On the bottom of your screen, we will see Zach Droegkamp, and on the top of your screen is Stephen Burton. Zach will be playing this tournament with Rotom Wash, Charizard Y, Escavalier, Conkeldurr, Cresselia, and Landorus Therian form. Stephen will be playing this battle with Smeargle, Ludicolo, Politoed, Zapdos, Terrakion, and Mega Kangaskhan. We saw Zach play in the last round, and he liked to use a strategy. He first used the strategy of Trick Room, and then he used Charizard Y Blitz in his second battle. So we'll be seeing what he can do in this battle. Stephen we saw a little bit earlier in this tournament, and unfortunately I don't remember exactly how he ran with this. However, we're starting off this battle. Zach will start off with Charizard Y, and it looked like Conkeldurr. No, sorry, Landorus. Landorus Therian form. Stephen is starting off with Kangaskhan and Smeargle, same way he started off in some of his previous matches. Zach is starting off his Mega Evolving his Charizard and attempting to attack the Kangaskhan twice to get rid of it immediately. He knows that Kangaskhan is a major problem for him, and he needs to get rid of that thing quickly. Kangaskhan is pretty much what the entire VGC metagame has revolved around, pretty much since it was first seen. So both Kangaskhan and Charizard Mega Evolve, and Charizard turns the Sunlight Harsh, which will boost the power of fire attacks, and it will make Solar Beam work immediately. Flamethrower hits on Kangaskhan, dropping it down to about a quarter of its health. And we've got Dark Void, which hits on both of Zach's Pokemon and puts both of them to sleep. Dark Void Smeargle is a strategy that's been around for a very long time, and it's been very effective at stalling opponents to the point where they just literally can't do anything. They're just sitting there taking opponents' attacks for at least a turn until they can wake up again. Unfortunately, the Kangaskhan does a lot of damage really quickly, and I've seen earlier that the Kangaskhan has this one is a different build. This one is a Power Up Punch Return, Sucker Punch, Fake Out. Zach is going to switch out for both Cresselia and Conkeldurr. While Power Up Punch hits the Cresselia twice, and Zach was trying to predict which Pokemon the Kangaskhan would hit. It looked like he picked right, because the Rocky Helmet will knock out the Kangaskhan. Cresselia doesn't take very much damage, but a Tailwind from Smeargle means that all of Stephen's Pokemon will now act first before Zach's Pokemon can attack. That being said, Zach still has a Trick Room that he can use. Going to start with a Mach Punch to Smeargle, and Trick Room from the Cresselia. I'd be surprised if he didn't use Trick Room on this turn. He needs to be able to attack first. Smeargle used a Tailwind into probably the worst possible situation. Smeargle hangs on with a Focus Sash from the Mach Punch. Hydro Pump is going to deal a pretty good amount of damage to that Conkeldurr, but Conkeldurr just heals it right up, and he's going to end up with a little more than half of its HP. Dark Void is going to hit both of Zach's Pokemon, and he here is going to put that Cresselia to sleep. Now Cresselia can't use the Trick Room that he was going to try and use earlier. Which now means that Steven's team is basically free to do whatever he wants. All 4 of Zach's Pokemon are asleep. He has no chance to do anything at this point. Steven is going to get at least 1, if not up to 5 turns of completely free attacks on Zach's Pokemon. Steven seems to be having a bit of trouble deciding which attacks he's going to use. Looks like Steven is just going to burn this turn. There's nothing he can really do about it. I'm pretty certain that he had Cresselia use Trick Room, which is still a good idea, just in case the Cresselia wakes up, but it's probably not going to wake up on this first turn. Politoed is switching out for a Ludicolo, who's again going to try and use, I believe it has Rain Dish, it should have Rain Dish, has Swift Swim, which I believe increases its speed as long as it's raining. I must have misidentified this earlier as Rain Dish, but Smeargle is going to transform into Ludicolo. And, oh, wakes up into a Trick Room. Now this is fun. This means that all of Zach's Pokemon will act first, especially with the Tailwind and the Swift Swim that Steven has already going. Although Swift Swim has been turned off due to Charizard coming back into play and resetting the sun. Zach is going to switch out the Zard into Landorus. Landorus Intimidate is going to drop both attacks. And Smeargle goes away. I believe that gets rid of Transform. It should get rid of Transform. Politoed comes back in, resetting Weather. This is a weather battle. We are officially in a weather battle. We're in a weather battle right now. Keeps trying to... Each opponent is trying really hard to set the weather for his own advantage or to negate the opponent's advantage. Landorus gets knocked out, and Charizard comes back out, resetting the sun. So Politoed is going to switch out during the next turn, and as is very likely, Charizard is just going to protect itself while going to drop an Ice Beam, or Ice Beam? Yeah, I would say Ice Beam onto Ludicolo. That's about your best... Ice Beam is going to be your best bet at this point, I would think. It hasn't lost enough HP to the point where Moonlight would be effective. Not sure why he would Ice Beam the Politoed. I guess he's expecting a switch. Charizard is still fast asleep. Ice Beam onto Politoed. He did not correctly predict a switch, although he was trying to get a switch in. Drops a Scald onto Zard, which is going to drop it down to about 2/3 left. And a second Scald. Going to probably drop it down to a third. Charizard needs to wake up now. Either that or he's going to just switch it out. Going to try and Ice Beam the Ludicolo. And is that a Pokemon theme that the band is playing right now? That sounds like the Champions theme that these guys are playing. No, those guys. Is that the Champions theme? Is that the Champions theme these guys are playing?
What?
The band.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Champions theme? That's pretty cool. That's a live band playing the Pokemon Champions theme. I just think that's really fun. So we've got another Scald coming in. He's going to hit Conkeldurr down to about a third HP left. And Zach is still trying desperately to get out of the Dark Void hole that he's been trapped in. That Smeargle has got to go away. He can't let that Smeargle keep sticking around and keep dropping Dark Voids on him. I believe Steven is down to 3. Both players are down to 3 Pokemon, but 2 of Zach's Pokemon are asleep. Steven seems to be having some problems, and withdraws the Ludicolo in order to send out the Politoed and reset the rain. Spiky Shield to protect itself and damage the Cresselia from the attack that it's likely going to drop. And the Twisted Dimensions return to normal, which means that Smeargle is likely going to drop a Dark Void during its turn. Going to try and Mach Punch the Smeargle to just get that thing out of play. But Conkeldurr is still asleep. It's only, I don't even know what the percentages are, but it's low. Switching out to a Pokemon that's asleep. He's trying to avoid a Dark Void. You guys are spending a lot of time playing with the weather. And then Rain Dance comes in and gets rid of the sunlight. Ludicolo is going to use. He's going to predict the switch. Ludicolo is going. That's interesting. That Charizard is going to have to switch. He needs to stop this weather from happening. Although Politoed, knowing that Politoed has Rain Dance, really screws up Zach's mathematics at this point. He knows that he can't reset the he knows that he's going to have a lot of problems resetting the sun now that Politoed has shown the Rain Dance. Politoed switches out, Charizard switches out, and he's still waiting for Conkeldurr to come back. Conkeldurr should wake up this turn. It should have been 5 turns at this point, at least. Drops a Scald onto Conkeldurr, which will knock it out. Charizard's going to come back in and reset the sun. This is the last time that Charizard will be able to reset the sun. And Steven is going to have the rain advantage for the rest of this battle. Why are you using Flamethrower? I saw a Flamethrower and a Trick Room used, which doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. You know that that Smeargle is switching. So Ludicolo can get its Swift swim back. I would have probably tried to Solar Beam a Smeargle spot. Because you're pretty certain that Smeargle's going to switch. And there we go, Smeargle switches out. Rain is reset. I forgot that Solar Beam doesn't work correctly when the rain is reset, so Flamethrower is the correct move there. Not going to matter very much because it can't wake up. Scald is going to knock out the Zard. Trick Room reverses the dimensions, but it's not going to matter very much because it's down to just Cresselia, and Cresselia can't knock anything out. Cresselia can sit back and stall for a really, really epically long amount of time. But it's very unlikely that Cresselia by itself is going to win this battle. Especially when his opponent drops down a critical hit. Cresselia is down to about a quarter of its HP, and it's going to have to Moonlight this turn. Probably going to have to Moonlight twice in a row. So it looks like Zach is just going to give up this battle. It looks like he's telling Cresselia to drop down an Ice Beam, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Unless he's just trying to move on to the next battle. If he is, then what is he thinking? Dropped an Ice Beam, and Cresselia's going to get knocked out. Scald. Drops it down to 4. Scald drops it down to 0. Cresselia is knocked out, and Steven takes Game 1 of this best 2 out of 3 match. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time, where we'll show you the next game of the final match between Steven and Zach in this Pokemon VGC Premier Challenge at 2DCon in Bloomington, Minnesota. Again, thanks for watching.